you can't cancel me.
Yeah.
It's actually amazing because everything I do is for myself. I have my own show. I do everything myself. So could not care less.
Well, talking about your father, and his ethos, are there any principles or lines that he gave over that you think about when you do have your back against the wall, and you have had these moments, especially over the past couple of years, where it feels like the world is against you to an extent?
It's a great question. And there's a culture where they say people die twice, once when they take their final breath and the second time when people stop saying their name. So thank you for referencing my dad, and I talk about him as often as I can. I always say to myself and to him, I'll never let him die twice. So I love talking about him. He was full of absolute gold, and not so much just what he said, and he said many brilliant things, but the way he lived his life is a constant example to me. And he was also, he was the first time I hosted, and I can use this reference to someone who understands it because most people don't. My first night hosting the Footy Show, I went on there, a first woman to sit there and to do that position, and I nailed it. I'm very self-deprecating. If I had stuffed it up, I'd tell you. I nailed it. Got off air and was like, this is amazing. I looked at Twitter, as it was called then, and I was like, oh my Lord, they're annihilating me. Like, you know, get off the screen. You're a woman. What would you know? You're ugly. You're this, you're that. You don't know anything. You should be hit by a bus. And I rang Dad. I was like, Dad, I was really upset. They're smashing me online. And he kind of said, have you been shot at by terrorists in Iraq? And I was like, no, which you know as well. And he said, well, toughen the beep up. And that was a very good lesson from Dad, in that everything is relative. There is always someone worse off. And often when you do something that is right, it is difficult and there are consequences, and not everyone will be on your side. But that doesn't mean that you're not in the right. And so I think I've always lived that way. And he taught us to always, as well, if we were attacked or if people questioned us, that it was actually okay to engage, that it was okay to question yourself as well. And I do that constantly. I don't live in an echo chamber. I would love to. My life would be much more pleasant, but I am constantly challenging my perspective. I'm watching other forms of media that I disagree with vehemently. I make sure I'm continually challenging the narrative that I have and the way I see this situation. And I tell you what, every single night I go to bed and I stand staunchly with Israel and absolutely vehemently against the terrorists. And I'm so confident that I'm on the right side of history, which makes it a lot easier.
Well, I would second the motion with that.